If you're over 70 and you've ever felt like a failure because you couldn't hit 10,000 steps in a day, I want you to stop right now and listen closely. Because that famous 10,000 step goal, for an older body, it's largely a myth. And worse than that, chasing it can stress your joints, wear you out, and make you feel defeated over a number that was never meant for you in the first place. The truth is, the number that actually protects your health is far lower than 10,000. And the single most important kind of movement for someone your age isn't walking at all. By the end of this video, you'll know the real step target backed by science, and the two types of movement that matter far more than your step count for keeping you strong and on your feet. So stay with me, because this might just take a weight off your shoulders and change how you move for the better. Let's start with a question almost no one ever asks. Where did 10,000 steps even come from? You'd assume it came from doctors or careful medical research. It didn't. It came from a marketing campaign. Back in the 1960s, a Japanese company released one of the very first step-counting pedometers, and they named it, in Japanese, the 10,000 step meter. It was a catchy slogan to sell a gadget, not a number proven by science. That's right. The goal you've been made to feel guilty about for decades was, at its heart, an advertising slogan. Let that sink in for a moment. So what does the actual science say? This is where it gets genuinely freeing. A landmark study from Harvard followed thousands of older women with an average age of around 72. And here's what they found. Compared to the least active, the women who walked about 7,500 steps a day had dramatically lower death rates. But here's the crucial part. The benefit leveled off right around there. Walking beyond 7,500 or so didn't add much more. They got nearly all the reward without ever coming close to 10,000. And a much larger study pooling data from nearly 50,000 people around the world confirmed it. For adults over 60, the health benefits of walking rise steadily, and then plateau somewhere around 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day. After that point, more steps simply don't add much for longevity. So please, hear this clearly. You do not need 10,000 steps. For most older adults, somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 steps a day captures almost all the benefit there is. And now, for the most encouraging finding of all. And this one is for anyone who feels they barely move at all. The very biggest gains don't come at the top end. They come at the bottom. The research shows that simply going from around 2,000 steps a day to 4,000 can cut your risk of early death by a remarkable amount. Do you understand what that means? If you're not very active right now, you don't need some huge, impossible goal. Just moving a little bit more, adding a short walk to your day, gives you the single biggest health return of all. The first few thousand steps are the most powerful steps you'll ever take, and those steps don't even have to come all at once. A few minutes after breakfast, a short stroll after lunch, a gentle walk in the evening, it all adds up to the same total by the end of the day. Breaking your movement into small, easy pieces is often far more doable than one long march, and it's just as good for you. One small bonus, if you're able. Walking at a comfortable but slightly brisk pace may add a touch more benefit for your heart. But please don't obsess over speed. Gentle, steady walking that you actually enjoy and keep doing always beats a fast pace you dread and soon give up. So the obsession with 10,000 isn't just unnecessary. It can actually do harm. When an older person sets 10,000 as the bar and can't reach it, they often feel like they've failed, get discouraged, and give up walking altogether. And some push too hard to hit that number, pounding their knees, hips, and ankles on hard ground until something starts to ache. A number invented to sell a pedometer should never cost you your joints or your motivation. Quick pause. If this is lifting a burden you didn't even realize you were carrying, take 1 second and subscribe. This channel is here to cut through the noise and give you the honest truth about staying healthy as you age. Now, here's the most important part of all. The kind of movement that matters even more than your steps. Here's the big blind spot in the whole step counting craze. A step counter measures only one single type of movement: walking. And walking, wonderful as it is cardio. It's exercise for your heart and your lungs. But here is what walking does almost nothing for. It does not build your muscle, and it does not train your balance. And for someone over 70, muscle and balance are everything. They are what stop a stumble from becoming a fall. They are what let you rise from a chair, climb the stairs, and stay living independently in your own home. You could walk 10,000 steps every single day and still be losing muscle and getting wobblier on your feet, because walking simply doesn't work those things. This is the piece the step obsession completely misses. So here is the real recipe, the kind of movement that actually keeps you strong, steady, and independent. First, set a realistic step goal. Aim for something like 6,000 to 7,000 steps a day if you can. Or honestly, just aim for a little more than you're doing now. Any increase is a win. There's no need to chase 10,000. Second, and this is the part most people skip, add a little strength work, 2 or 3 times a week. This doesn't mean a gym. It means simple things like standing up from a sturdy chair several times in a row, or rising onto your toes at the kitchen counter, or carrying your own shopping. This is what rebuilds the muscle that walking can't. Third, practice your balance, just a little, every day. Something as simple as standing on one leg while you hold the kitchen counter for a few seconds on each side steadily rebuilds the steadiness that keeps you upright and safe. That's the whole recipe. A sensible amount of walking, plus strength, plus balance. Together, those three protect you in a way that any step count, on its own, never could. So let me leave you with the bigger truth I most want you to carry away. Don't chase a marketing number. Build a body that's strong, steady, and able. Your steps are just one ingredient, and on their own, they were never the whole recipe for healthy aging. Now, a couple of honest words before we finish. Whatever your current activity, start where you are and build up gradually. Don't leap from very little to a great deal overnight. And if walking brings on real joint pain, ease back and check with your doctor. If you have any health condition, it's always wise to talk with your doctor before starting new exercise. This is general information to help you move smarter, not a replacement for advice from your own doctor who knows your health. So let's bring it all together. The 10,000 step goal began as a pedometer slogan, not science. For adults over 60, the real benefit levels off around 6,000 to 8,000 steps. And even modest amounts of walking, like going from 2,000 to 4,000, give you huge rewards. But steps only measure walking, which is cardio. To truly protect yourself, you must add the two things a step counter ignores: strength and balance. So here's what I'd love you to do. Comment the word walking if this freed you from the 10,000 step pressure, and tell me, honestly, roughly how many steps you walk on a normal day. Let's see our real numbers with no shame and no judgment. Then subscribe so the next myth-busting truth finds its way to you. And share this with someone who's been beating themselves up over their step count, because they deserve to feel this relief too. And watch this next, because there's one simple exercise that builds the very muscle your daily walk can't. In just 5 minutes a day with no equipment at all. I'll see you there. This video was for general education only and is not medical advice. Build up your activity gradually, and talk with your doctor before starting new exercise, especially if you have joint pain or any health condition.